Hey guys, today is May 14th, and I just remembered the other day that May is my 4-year on carnivore anniversary. I believe I started the Monday after Memorial Day. Matter of fact, I think I mentioned Memorial Day the other day and it made me think about it. So I was thinking this morning I wanted to do a video after all of these years and tell you my favorite things about carnivore and what really keeps me going. This is my why I'm on carnivore. And I thought about this when I was at that conference lately. I was sitting next to this guy who had a real estate company, and most everyone there was there to learn how to do YouTube and how to have an online presence. You know, as we're talking, he's telling me about his wife. She homeschools. They got another daughter on the way. You know, all those things that you talk about. I don't know how we got to this, but he had lost an amazing amount of weight. I know what it was. I probably said I do carnivore and stuff too. He said that he had gone to a self-development program, and he was, very overweight, obese. And he said, evidently in like some group, he said that he wanted to lose so and so many pounds. And the guy said, well, you're not going to do it. And he said, excuse me? He said, you're not going to do it. I can tell. You don't hate it bad enough. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was brutal. He said, but it was true. He said, because I had developed all types of things to either disguise or learn to live with being very, very overweight. And he said, like I had a full beard that hid, my face fat, I guess. He said, I wore big baggy clothes. He said, and he probably looked at me and could see that. He said, so I went home immediately and shaved off my beard and I quit wearing those clothes. And then he had lost all of this weight. And it was that little thing that made it click with him. And I think that's what it has to be. It has to be something that makes you want to do this. And he wasn't carnivore, and I didn't start off wanting to be carnivore, didn't even know about it. I was battling menopause, I was battling IBS and joint pain. So a little disclosure is I started carnivore in May. In July is when I started HRT. So if, a lot of people say it's not the carnivore, it's the HRT. What I would say is if you're having these symptoms, and pick one of those to try. Maybe try the HRT first. I think HRT is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for our mental, and I'm not going to get into that because I really don't know enough to teach you or convince you, but I was convinced. I think what really got me the most was Dr. Ida. So I am on HRT, and any other disclosures, I do drink Diet Coke. Because that's the first thing. When I tell someone I'm carnivore, they immediately grab, pick up on my Diet Coke. Diet Coke has never bothered me as far as being in ketosis or losing weight or anything else. I did try, you guys. I tried for years. I tried everything to get rid of my IBS. I quit drinking drinks. I quit eating nuts. I quit eating fruit. I just went from thing to thing, doctor to doctor, scan to scan, blood work, all of this stuff. So let's start with number one, I would think would be the IBS, because the IBS was something that was really wreaking havoc on my life, in that it was keeping me from wanting to go out of town. It was affecting me mentally. And if you haven't read about the brain gut connection, oh my gosh. It will blow your mind. It really will. I feel it in my gut. I've got butterflies. All of that. There is strong connection. So a lot of times, we can get depressed or upset and it will upset our gut. But if something's wrong with our gut, it can also mess with our mind. And I do think a lot of these things were menopause symptoms. I do think your hormones go haywire, but I do know that when you don't eat sugar, carbs, fruit, all of those things, it will balance your insulin and balance your hormones more than not. So Dr. Berry has a lot of good videos. I really feel like I can tell you my experience, but I'm never going to try to be a doctor or a dietitian or an expert, but I can just tell you what works for me. Okay, no body aches and joint pain. That was another thing that was really affecting me mentally. You can go back in my videos and just see I was having to dress different. I was thinking, okay, there goes high heels. Remember when I was walking the loop down at the beach and I fell? To this day, I still have the scars on my arm. I mean, I was just like falling apart. If I can find it, I'll put it up here. My crazy menopause symptoms, chest breaking out, just, stuff happening. And I don't want to ever like bash doctors, especially my doctor. I really like him. I'm still with him. I appreciate him. But I knew it was menopause time for me, and he was saying that wasn't it. And I think what happens is, and you guys were telling me that too, but what is it? I guess we don't want to get old. We don't want to face it. We don't want to think we're in menopause already. My mom went through menopause at 45. I knew it was getting to be that time, but I don't know why I was so hard-headed. And then when he would tell me it wasn't that, I would just still believe him and myself. And looking back, I should have probably gotten on HRT a mild dose sooner or started carnivore sooner, But things happen the way they do for a reason. But I had major joint pain. If you're new, you haven't heard this, but everybody else, sorry if I'm repeating myself. But I literally sold my car because I thought because it was low to the ground, that's what was making my left hip hurt, was getting in and out of that car. And I was sleeping with heating pads. That hip hurt so bad. And I had an MRI on it. They said that it was just the beginning of arthritis, yada, yada, basically, get on out of here. And my wrist hurt like a lot. I was thinking I might have, what is that, carpal tunnel or something, but this wrist hurt a lot. And then other than that, I don't remember. I think it was just those two things were my main joint pains, but major, to the point when I got out of my car, it would take me like about 4 or 5 steps to get walking good without it really killing me on that hip. Okay, weight loss. For 4 years, I have kept off 30 pounds. I started at 152 pounds, which was on my heavy side, probably the heaviest I'd been in a while. I would say my average weight around that time would have fluctuated from 148 to 150, something like that. And I got down to 118, held that off for at least a year. And then when we moved in this house, we got a new scale. And when I got on it, it said 120. So I don't know if I ever was 118. Maybe I was 120 the whole time. And now I am the 122est biatch you've ever seen. I am just 122 every day. Okay, is this today? Yeah, Tuesday, 122.6. So even when I go out of town, I come back, I'm 122 or less. When I came back from Santa Fe, I was 119. So I love that. Energy, so much energy. If you've been here with me, you've seen the difference. I can make a video every day. Matter of fact, during COVID, I think I did. I got on carnivore during the whole shutdown. That really helped me, and eating from all those places. We were still trying to support our restaurants and we were eating a bunch of junk. Yeah, it was a perfect storm. So not only so much more energy, but not any of the spikes and the drops. And where I really notice this is when I go out of town. Because used to, I would eat, be good in the mornings, and then I would have to take a nap in the afternoon. It didn't matter if I was in Mexico, Honolulu, Paris, wherever, having the best time, but I would have to take a nap. And I just thought it was the way it was. I remember back then, I used to watch The Housewives. I don't watch them anymore. And Dorinda, remember how she always took a nap? And I just thought it was a thing. Naps are good. But 2-hour solid naps. So just my energy is so good. I love it. Okay, my health. I feel so healthy and vibrant. I, had been getting blood work, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And the only thing they could come up with was low iron. So I was started with an F. I was on a prescription iron pill. As soon as I got on carnivore, I had to get off the iron pill. The only supplement I take is, I do have osteopenia. So I take let me go get it. Hold on. Okay, it's this. John ordered it for me. My husband, John, is a health fanatic. I'm 53, he's 63. He still looks amazing. And so he always helps me with this. But I even asked the doctor, do I need to get a multivitamin or anything? And he said, no, just take what you need. You don't need to take all of that other stuff. Meat and beef are very, very mineral, protein, very rich with nutrients. So I know that is a big thing, and it's too deep for me to get into right now, but that's like a very, very common question. How do you get your vitamins? How do you get your minerals? Beef is very rich, and eggs, seafood, all of that stuff that I eat. So anyway, that's the only thing that I take. Now, I did have a colonoscopy. I did go through the whole, gastroenterologist thing. And in the beginning, he had me taking Benefiber, and I took some things like that, but I don't need those, so I don't take them. So no medications. I'm not on blood pressure medicine. I'm not on this, that. I'm not diabetic. I'm not any of that stuff. So no medicines. Okay, this is... I'm a double Virgo. My routine. I love a routine. If you've been here with me, you remember when I would eat junk, I'd still eat or have a routine. I would eat Zaxby's salad every single day. Usually everywhere I go, people know my name because I'm just that routine. I love it. And I have people say, well, Lisa, can't you eat this? Can't you eat that? And I'm thinking, I'm not looking for anything else to eat. I've got what I want. Think of it like your dog or cat. If they really love their dog food, they're excited every time. That's how I am. I'm excited every time. Now, sometimes, like when I just went out of town and I ate at Ruth's Chris, that was so good, but I still ate the same things that I would eat here. So it's just, I love it. I'm not really looking for a lot of other things to eat. I do love, John cooks, we call it magic chicken. He cooks chicken thighs on the grill. My favorite grill is the Blackstone grill. You can cook eggs on it. It's the best, the best. Okay, let's see, I've got down here number 7, no decision fatigue with food or anxiety about food. The decisions are made. And I put travel. I could also put night out with friends, birthday party, wedding, all the things that you go to. And it doesn't matter if you're just trying to lose weight or if eating sugar and carbs and processed foods makes you feel bad, or if you're diabetic, whatever it is for not wanting to eat these things, you know what I'm talking about when you have an event coming up or you're going out of town. The anxiety kicks in. With me, it used to kick in the moment I had the plan, because then I had to worry about, was I going to be able to fit into whatever I needed to wear? Then I would think about, what am I going to eat on the plane or the airport? Then I would think, what am I going to get for lunch? Am I going to eat breakfast? Am I going to want that dessert at Cheesecake Factory that I always get? All of those things would freak me out. They would freak me out. They would make it where you don't even know it at the time. You don't realize that it's giving you anxiety. And I love it now. I don't have to worry about a single thing. People like, I think Steve Jobs, I know the eBay guy. I'm terrible with names. Whatever his name is. You know how they wear the same clothes? Michael Kors. I mean, of course, it's part of branding, but there's people that wear the same thing every day because it's decision fatigue. It keeps them from wasting the time, the effort, and the brain power to even have to think about it. And I love it. I love knowing I am going to be able to eat no matter where we go. I'm not going to get caught in a place that I can't get something to eat. Even on the plane, they didn't have anything for me to eat, but they had cheese. So I just ate a little bit of cheese. But I mean, I love that. It's one of my favorite things for sure. Okay, I'm never bloated, and I love the way I feel after I eat, mentally and physically. I don't burp. I don't poop. I don't have heartburn. I don't need Tums. I don't need Pepto-Bismol. I don't need gum. I don't need emergency plans. I mean, I eat and I feel so satisfied, so full, but not over full. I have overdone it. One night when we ate at Ruth's Chris, I overdid it. Probably about, I would say 4 bites of the filet. I should have left there. It was just so good and I didn't want to waste it, so I ate it. I could tell that night I had eaten a little bit too much, but that's happened maybe a handful of times this whole 4 years. Typically, your gut brain ghrelin hormone, hunger hormone, really regulates when you're on carnivore, and you have this satisfied, full, finished, close the book, finished, put it on the shelf feeling for the rest of the night. And I love it. I love not worrying about food. I love not feeling bloated. I can eat breakfast on a Sunday morning and do a video afterwards because I don't feel bloated. I don't feel lethargic. I don't, any of those things. A feeling of confidence, strength, and power. A feeling of pride and mental strength. That is one that is hard to describe. When you keep a promise to yourself, it is very, 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 very powerful. And like when I tell people that, and I don't just volunteer and tell everybody, they have to either ask me, it has to come up. I really learned with that. When I tell people, they can hardly believe it. And I'm proud of it because I made a decision and I stuck to it. It does make me feel powerful because I feel like I can handle most anything that comes my way. I mean, a lot of things lead up to this. I think when we get in our 50s, we naturally feel more confident and powerful, but this has just been one of those things. And I think physically, I feel stronger. I feel like I can walk and walk and walk. I'm not going to trip or I'm not going to wear out. I can wear my high heels. I feel mentally healthier. Think about how you feel when you feel depressed. Especially us women going through menopause. You feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Everything's so dramatic and you feel lethargic and you don't feel sexy and you don't feel like the woman you were and you're thinking, oh, I used to be this, I used to be that, never again. Well, imagine not having that feeling anymore. Feeling like your best days are ahead of you. I mean, I just cannot explain the difference. It's amazing. Like, it makes me sad to think about how I used to feel and act that I wasted that amount of time. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's why I'm telling you, because I don't want you to waste any time. Number 10 is very close. Clear mind, gut-brain connection. I feel much sharper. You know what I mean? Like, I have always loved learning. You know, I love Skillshare. I love self-development videos. Before YouTube, I can remember living at my mom's. I would go to Barnes & Noble, or I can't remember. I think we had a Books A Million back then. And I loved the self-help section. I would read about dating. I would read about all kinds of stuff. I've always loved just stuff like that. And I feel like since I started Carnivore, it has really intensified. I have really just wanted to be like the best person I can be. I want self-actualization. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hit every height that I can hit in every way. And I feel like I would not feel this way if it weren't for Carnivore. Bonus point is I love YouTube even more. Now that I feel good, it helped my career because it made me love fashion that much more. It made me less inhibited. It made me just have more energy, all the things. So I am not trying to convince you to be carnivore. I am merely sharing my story with you because we have to do what aligns with us. I happen to be a meat lover. I happen to be routine. I happen to not mind, even when I was just eating junk all the time, eating the same thing over and over, going to the same places over and over. So this is in alignment with me, what I like and my lifestyle. But vegetarian may be better for you, or Weight Watchers, or anything that helps you. If I had to say the one thing that I would recommend the most, it would be, of course, Atkins or keto, because that is how I lost my weight after having Brooke and Will. And I mean, after Brooke, I had gained lots of weight with both of them. Let's just say I was not an Instagram pregnant girl. The weight just, I remember my dad saying, Lisa, the weight is falling off of you. I mean, it was just like, I just lost it. And a lot of it was water weight, but that's what low carb and Atkins and carnivore and keto, it gets rid of the water weight. And it might just be water weight, but it still doesn't feel good. It didn't feel good to have my wrists swollen, my joints hurt, inflammation, all of that stuff. So find what works for you. The point is, find something. Find something that's manageable, that you can do, that makes you feel good and enjoy life. And especially women our age, you guys, now we have all this time in a day, time we never had, but we don't have time like this that we used to have. So what do we need to do? We need to maximize that time in a day. And to do that, we need to feel good. If you love working in the garden, it's going to make that better. If you love hiking, it's going to make that better. If you love traveling, it's going to make that better. Even if you love cooking, there's so many recipes you can do. I mean, especially keto. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope that I have just said one or two words of encouragement that clicked, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.